Bonjour, je suis Megan McFadden. Comment allez-vous? Je vais bien. Thank you for joining me today to discuss French business protocol. Did you know that many companies experience high failure rates when investing in expatriates? The number one factor contributing to this failure is the lack of preparation for the cross-culture transition for the employee and also his family. Unfortunately, only 1/3 of managers that accept an overseas position are actually offered training, and of those 1/3, only 1/2 actually complete the pre-departure training. When it comes to French business protocol, I like to split it into two areas. First, the general information, and secondly, the more specific actual business protocol. The first of the general aspects is the greeting. The French differ from the US in two ways here. First, they do the air kiss. This is generally reserved for people that you have a closer relationship with, though. And the second is the handshake. Unlike the US strong, sturdy handshake, the French really prefer a light and quick handshake. Secondly is the language. You don't have to be fluent in French, but they do appreciate if you at least take the time to learn some French phrases like bonjour. If you start out a conversation in French and you're really kind of slaughtering the language, they'll give you a pat on the back for your effort, but then they will switch the rest of the conversation into English because it would be easier for everyone involved to communicate. The third of the general aspects is attire. The French are known for their fashion sense, and they don't cut you any slack when it comes to business fashion. They expect you to be dressed classy, in quality clothing, kind of conservative business suits for men and suits and nice dresses for women. The French do not practice casual business like we do here in the US. They definitely like to keep it on a more professional attire approach. Last of the general aspects is socializing. The French like to keep their home life private and completely separate from their business life. It's not acceptable to ask someone, what do you do? This is seen as invasive and too personal of a question. So instead, try and build your business rapport and start out your relationships with topics such as history, food, art, music, culture, anything that's kind of a safe topic to where you can build a relationship with this person without seeming too invasive. The second category of these aspects is the more specific business protocol aspects. The first is punctuality. When it comes to the French, you can be 10 minutes late and it's acceptable. If it's anything later than 20 minutes, though, you should call and reschedule. Whereas in the US, if you are running late, it's kind of taken as rude, and you should probably be more like 10 minutes early to a meeting versus 10 minutes late to a meeting. The second aspect is appointments. The French do not like it when you cold call on them. Do not show up without an appointment. It is acceptable to make appointments by phone or by email, but it is not acceptable to show up without an appointment. The third aspect is communication. The French like to be direct and spirited, and it might seem like they're arguing to you, but they really just want to discuss topics and try and break down any ideas that you have, to see, kind of poke holes in things, see does this really make sense for us business-wise. And the fourth aspect is knowledge. If you are coming to a French business meeting, you better know the details of your proposal inside and out, because they are logic-driven and they will try and pick it apart, and it really reflects poorly on you if you do not come prepared to adequately discuss your material. The last aspect is structure. The French business structure is definitely a hierarchy. The managers at the top are the ones that are going to make the decisions. So if you're coming to a business meeting and you want to get a contract signed, you better make sure that you're talking to the top dog, because the middle and lower managers, while you can build a relationship with them and be able to work your way up to the boss and then kind of be in good standing, the middle managers aren't going to be able to sign a contract with you. You're going to have to deal directly with the boss. And the French are also not very high risk takers, so they will like you to go through those different channels of addressing whatever kind of business plan you have with them, kind of work it back and forth. They like to discuss a lot, so also the decision making is a lot slower than it would be in the US, where middle managers and maybe even upper level managers but not top management actually have that authority to enter into contracts with people. Thank you for taking the time to complete your French business protocol training. I will leave you with a summary slide for future reference, and I wish all of you bon chance. That's good luck in your future business interactions.